Hey guys, this is Gigi coming in from Taipei from Bitcoin Plus Plus Sovereign Edition. So far, it's been an incredible conference where there's been great talks, great workshops, and of course, a few of them we had to bring onto the show to introduce some concepts which I think are fundamentally important to preserving privacy, making Bitcoin more easier and efficient for everyday people to use and just improve on the overall privacy and use case. So on this episode, I'm joined by the Dana Wallet guys, which have been working on silent payments for close to 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, since that is something that we're looking to incorporate into Bull Wallet in the coming months, I thought it would be a great opportunity to have you guys on and break down some top level concepts and debunking what is silent payments, because a lot of people don't know that have been in Bitcoin for a time, and new people entering the space probably have not heard of silent payments. So to kick it off, for someone that's completely new to Bitcoin, how would you explain silent payments are in simple terms?
First thing, thanks for having us. And indeed, that's a very nice conference here and a very nice place, Taipei. Oh, we introduce silent payments for the layman, you mean? Silent payments is basically single like payment code that you can reuse, which is not the case of a regular Bitcoin address, as everyone should know. I don't know if everyone knows, but and the point is that I can give you my silent payment address, and you will send me money anytime you want, as many times as you want, and on chain it will produce different addresses every time. So that's basically solving the address reuse problem.
I think also to add one more thing was some people are thinking just one address. It's not like a BC1 cryptographic address, right? I think that's also a bit cumbersome thing that new people to Bitcoin are like, wow, what are these massive strings of numbers?
Yeah, indeed.
I think one thing that's nice to mention is that with sign-up payments, it's actually impossible to create the same on-chain address. So it's sort of written in such a way that you basically, even complete newbies, are just unable to make certain like beginner mistakes. So maybe this is a bit too technical also, but one idea that you could also, like with exchanges, for example, one thing that exchanges want is they want to basically send you, or every time you withdraw, they want to, create, ideally, they want to create a new address for you. And one thing that used to be like a proposal is like you could give an exchange your XPub. However, doing this kind of has a bunch of risks associated with it. Like if someone, reuses their XPub, like an exchange can kind of look into your funds and like just all kinds of other like small things that can that are kind of dangerous, and silent payments is sort of made that there aren't really these kind of foot guns. So yeah, I think that's also good to mention.
And I think following up on that is, why wouldn't someone just stick to sending transactions on a normal Bitcoin address that we currently have? Why would you want to use silent payments instead?
Yeah, so there are still reasons to use old addresses. So sign-up payments does actually have some trade-offs, but generally it's just a lot less risky to do certain beginner mistakes. Like I said, if you have like an on-chain address, it's easy for people to be like to just send their address to other people, or like it's easy for people to like forget like I shouldn't copy this address. So I don't know, like these sorts of things are just not possible.
But just to explain a little more, there are still some situations where you couldn't use actually silent payments at all. For example, if you're making a transaction that is pending a multisig, that doesn't work yet. If you want to do a multisig, that doesn't work yet. Silent payments is a single sig only for now.
Okay.
So that kind of situations, you still have to use so-called legacy address scheme. Yeah.
Got it. So maybe we can touch a little bit on use cases. So this is one use case, as you said, if you have a multi-sig setup, you can't use silent payments yet. But like, what are good use cases today that someone would benefit from using silent payments compared to normal Bitcoin addresses?
I think it's in the name of our wallet. Dana means like basically generosity or gift, donation, charity, whatever. And it was because the wallet was built at first around the donation use case. Why? Because the donation is one of the main use case where you see address reuse up to today, I mean.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other one being, as Signet said, exchanges, which is actually even worse than donation. So that kind of use cases, I think we should pivot really fast. I hope that we can pivot really fast to send them, because it just doesn't make any sense, I think, to use static address. We're in 2026. I mean, next month. So
2 weeks away. Well, probably when this goes live, we are in 2026.
yeah. So why are we still? Is it like 2030? You know what I mean? Stop using static
Sure.
address.
That's true.
Yeah.
On the topic of exchanges, are there any exchanges today that have implemented silent payments or not yet that you know of?
Not as far as I know. There are exchanges that are interested, definitely. I don't know if you have more information than me about that, but
I once heard that OKCoin or something sounded like they were interested. Well, of course, but
Yeah. Well, we have PayJoin, so silent payments is coming. It's coming.
okay, yeah, I guess you guys are probably the
The closest ones to implement.
yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. Cool. So maybe we can come back. You mentioned like one of the trade-offs. What are like some other trade-offs that you could think of with regards to silent payments, if there are any, of course?
With using silent payments,
Yeah. With using.
yeah. So the biggest trade-off that silent payment has is that normally, for normal wallets, you basically have like a list of addresses that are associated with your wallet. Like if you look at Sparrow, for example, you can kind of click on like an addresses box and you can like see the whole list. So that makes it like very easy for light clients to look up how many funds you have. With silent payments, the issue is kind of that there is no such list of like pre-calculated addresses. It's sort of, because every address is kind of unique for every transaction, you kind of have to more or less look at every transaction individually and see, okay, if this is a silent payment, what would the address look like? And like for a lot of payments, obviously those are not transactions that are relevant to you. So for a lot of payments, this is sort of useless. But you need to do this. So that is kind of like the biggest trade-off that silent payments is making.
I see.
In terms of other trade-offs,
I guess that's pretty much it. It's a little more complicated on the light client side, but we are working on trying to make it affordable for regular users. But other than that, I think it's especially for that kind of use cases that we've been talking about, like donations, exchanges, that just make so much more sense. Of course, if you're like storing all your life saving or inheritance, okay, maybe you're still better with hardware wallets and multi-sig or whatever.
I get it. So to kind of round it up, because I think we've covered most of the points. I'll come back and see maybe we've missed something, but I wanted to go like a little bit one onion layer below what you started off saying, that Bitcoin addresses can't be reused with silent payments. Could you maybe expand on that a little bit and keep it as high top level as possible for the non-techies?
yeah. So, I mean, the most basic way to think about it is just that every single transaction just has its own unique on-chain address. So if you have any kind of transaction that exists on Bitcoin, sign-up payments are sort of changed by the transaction that they're in on-chain. So that kind of makes them unique. Yeah, I guess that's basically the answer to that, is how they are unique, because they have to be unique, because every transaction in Bitcoin is sort of unique. So it uses, maybe that's too technical, but it uses the out point, and out points are something are always unique for every transaction. So yeah, that's basically why. I think one thing that is also interesting, that kind of popped into my head with your question, is if I have a sign-up payment address and I give it to like an exchange so that they can withdraw to your sign-up payment address, and if I give that same sign-up payment address to another exchange, because they all create like unique addresses, even those two exchanges won't be able to tell like
which one's which.
Yeah, or like if you have exchange A, exchange B, and you withdraw from both, like neither exchange would be able to see the address that the other exchange created, basically. So that's also kind of something that like XPubs
If
don't
I
really.
add, because That's a really good. That's a really good point. It makes me think actually. One thing which is interesting, I think, with silent payments is that since that's basically a payment code that you can reuse anytime you want. And so if you send me money on my silent payments address, you can be 100% sure that's mine because with the current addresses, I need to generate a new address every time. And yeah, if we are victim of some elaborate hack or whatever, and I generate an address, I send it to you, my message got intercepted, and a few pages, that becomes impossible with silent payments. But I can still reveal to you. You can be sure that you're sending it to me. Other people like Signet, it can't tell because it doesn't know. But I can still reveal to other people if I need to. Or here is the proof, cryptographic proof that that address was linked to my payment. So it was addressed to me. So that's you choose.
True. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And maybe just to elaborate further, I realized we didn't break it down. We told the audience that the address is not as cumbersome as traditional wallet addresses, but to go further, it's literally just like an email. It could be gg@bullbitcoin.com, right? Like how do you create your, maybe that's my own question that just popped into my head.
Yeah.
How do I create my silent payments? Is there like a list, or do you need to own the domain to have it in your silent payments address? How does that go? And how does it prevent from someone else creating the same silent payments as myself?
Oh, okay. So let's try to
Let's do the first one.
how do you create questions? Yeah, actually, that's another evolution which is kind of linked to silent payments, but that's not the same thing. Than silent payments, we are lacking like a good name for that. It's like the BIP 353. So that's a mouthful to say. That's not really sexy, but a mouthful. Yeah. And the point is that that proposal is basically what you just said. We can register. Okay, that becomes kind of technical, but basically, to keep it simple, we can create each email address like strings that you can give to any device that is connected to the internet, and then you will request that on the internet, and you will get the silent payment address. To keep it real simple.
Okay.
So what?
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want also to add is, so if you have, like, for example, a website, a website has a human readable name, but under the hood, it's really an IP address. And there's like a point in the network stack.
The digital fingerprint.
Yeah. Or no, it's so there's like an element in which is called the DNS, which is basically something that is responsible for translating a website to an IP address, and you can use basically the same technology to translate like sort of this BIP 353, which looks like an email address. It translated to a silent payments address, so it can sort of leverage this other part of the network stack, which is used for a much broader context than just Bitcoin. So it's nice to, I guess, rely on something that is quite stable or quite battle tested, I guess.
Exciting stuff. Have we guys covered most of the things on silent payments? Anything you wanted to add or we didn't touch upon?
I have some ideas, but there's some things, silent payments, I think we're barely getting started. We try to nail, I think there's an aspect that we haven't talked, we talked a little about that, but that's not only a privacy, that's mostly not actually a privacy improvement. That's more like a UX improvement, I think.
Experience.
User experience improvement, especially if we add the BIP 353 addresses. And I hope that later on we can make the UX, user experience of wallets, evolve along that new technology and come up with something that is easier actually to use for regular users. And there's a little thing that's just teasing maybe, that actually when you are doing a silent payment transaction, you're sending me money and we share a cryptographic secret in the same transaction. And right now, this shared secret, we don't do much with it aside deriving the address. And I hope that at some time we can come up with maybe things we can do with that, because that's kind of interesting. We have like an economic exchange, and in the same time we have like a shared secret for free, basically.
Yeah.
So it can be interesting.
2 in 1.
Yeah, but it can be interesting to do other stuff. But that's really like, teasing stuff that doesn't exist yet.
I get it. You went into my final question, which was, what are you most excited about the future of silent payments? And you kind of already touched upon it. Do you want to add anything to what you already said?
Then I'll give it to you. Pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm actually excited about one more thing, which we haven't mentioned, which is that if you have this BIP353 address thing, this is also compatible with, for example, Lightning. So one idea that has always been kind of there, but wasn't really possible up until now, is that you want some way to like combine a Lightning address and a on-chain address, or you don't want users to kind of have to think about, am I sending to a Lightning node or am I sending to an on-chain address?
Yeah.
And that's also something with what this BIP353 thing can.
So you can have one address for both of your on-chain and your Lightning wallet.
Yeah.
And Liquid, or you don't know?
I don't know.
Or probably because it's a side chain, it works different to Lightning, right?
I think
Or we don't know.
because it's sidechain, maybe they also accept silent payments. Although no, I don't know too much.
Okay.
Like,
Well, we'll stick to Lightning. Lightning already.
yeah.
That would be pretty sweet. So you can just have one address. But then how would you know? Yeah, depending who the sender, if he's sending you on-chain or Lightning, it'll just land in that specific wallet.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. I had no idea about that. So awesome. Well, gentlemen, we want to keep this short and sweet. Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on. Thank you for being here in Taipei. It's been an awesome time. I'm really happy to have met new fellow freedom warriors, and since day one, since speakers dinner, we've really hit it off. And yeah, thank you for coming on. And I guess to close it off, where can we send folks that are watching this to follow your project or follow you individually, Toaster X, wherever you are?
Yeah, we already mentioned the name. So we are the developers of Dana wallets, and we are hoping to release our app in the Google Play Store and Apple App Store soon next year. But for now, you can find more information about us on danawallet.app.
Amazing. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Please, if you enjoyed it, if you got some value out of it, do share it. That's how we spread the message. And yeah, if you have any comments, drop them down below and we'll get back to you. And as always, stay safe, stay sovereign, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.